Hi guys, welcome back to my XVS guide. Now I'm gonna review Kefka. He was one of the best mage before we get the 6 stars mage such as X Death. Is he still good now? Let's take a look on his stats first. He has highest magic stats compared to other 3 stars mage. It is same as Darkvina, who is 5 stars base. He has even have 40% magic boost, which is higher than Darkvina. She only get 30%. He also has MP plus 20%. This means his magic stats is really good, especially if you compare him to 3 stars base mage such as Terra and Xdeath. He was also has passive that makes him powerful against human. His magic damage will deal 50% more damage against human. He has 20% chance to evade physical attack, which is nice because as a mage he has low defense. Those are all his passive. Now let's take a look on his good skill. The first one is Last Footstep. It has high multiplier 3.8, which is higher than Ultima even when you count the Spirit Ignore from Ultima. It also reduces all target spirit by 40%, so this will make your next attack more powerful and will help other mages too. However, be careful. With its high MP cost, Kefka doesn't have auto refresh too. This means that your MP will be depleted very fast. So yep, just be careful about your MP. The next skill is Hyperdrive. This skill is good because its MP costs are not that high. So if you fight single enemy, you may want to use this instead of Last Footstep or Light of Judgment. So your MP won't run out fast. Okay, so you can use Last Footstep first. After the speed reduction, you can use your Hyperdrive to deal more damage. The next skill is Roar of Laughter. This one is very good debuff, okay? It will debuff our stats by 40% and it affects all enemies. However, you cannot cast it anytime. So I don't think you can rely on it because it only has 20% chance to happen when you are being attacked by physical attack. So don't think you will use Provoke to trigger this because he has low defense. But it is still very nice if it triggered because the effect is really good. It is higher than Full Break, which only 30%. This skill has 40% effect. Now let's take a look at not so good skills. Okay, the first one is Light of Judgment. This skill seems good, but in reality, it deals less damage compared to Last Footstep. If you count the Spirit Ignore, it will deal 3.7 damage. It is less than Last Footstep, but it costs 5 more MP. So I don't think you want to use this one. Simply use Last Footstep. Okay, so this is simply my raw calculation. So this skill may deal more damage than Last Footstep on certain occasion, such as when you fight the enemy with very high spirit. But yep, from my calculation, Light of Judgment is inferior than Last Footstep. The next skill is Trine. It only has 2 effects, okay, Blind and Silence. The chance is also very small, only 20%. So just forget this one, okay? So it is not very good. The chance is very small and the effect is not that useful, okay? Blind is useful, but Silence, okay? The enemy, I don't think the enemy use magic frequently on this game. They usually use ability, and ability is not affected by Silence, so not a good skill. The next not so good skill is Heartless Angel. Most enemies which affected by this ability are weak enemies. So simply use Last Footstep or other skills to kill them instantly, okay? So no need to reduce their health to quarter because, yep, it is useless. It won't affect the strong enemy, so I don't think you will use this one. His limit burst is also not that good. Okay, so the elemental reduce is fixed, only 25%. The elemental reduce not getting boost when the LB is leveled up, so I think it is useless, and you need to make your limit burst at maximum level for its damage to get high as last footstep. So I don't think his limit burst is good. Okay, very bad, I think. So I think those are all important skills which he has. For his black magic, simply use it when you find the enemy that weak against the element of his black magic. He only has three gas spells: Tundaga, Byoga, and Blizzaga. Now let's compare him with other mage. Okay, so if you compare him to 5-star base mage such as Darkfina, then it won't be a fair fight because Darkfina, Ace, and Transtera are clearly superior than him. So let's compare him to the other 3-star mage. The first one is Xdeath. In my opinion, Xdeath is much better in terms of skill. First of all, Xdeath have an access to dual black magic, so even though Xdeath cannot equip rope and head to boost his magic stats, Xdeath will be able to deal more damage per turn compared to Kefka because of his dual meteor. By the way, you can easily equip Xdeath with head using equip head ability, which can be obtained easily from Gelki chest. Also, Xdeath has better passive magic killer ability. He deals extra magic to beasts, plant, human, bugs, and birds by 30%. It is less than 50%, but remember, Kefka's magic only affect human. So Xdeath is more useful on general situation compared to Kefka. So I prefer Xdeath compared to Kefka. Okay, so Xdeath is definitely top mage, okay, for me. The second is Terra. Okay, Terra loses in terms of pure magic damage. Terra doesn't have any real high damaging magic or ability on her normal stat. So the most powerful magic she has is Flare. But she can help your healer with Cura, Race, and Ray of Hope. So yeah, she is quite nice addition to your party. She also has Dispelga, which is nice to dispel a lot of enemies buff, especially if you haven't got the Bushido Freedom. However, Terra has an ability called Unlock Magic, which will make her have dual cast, Meteor, and Chaos Wave. The ability also increases 50% of her magic. So in this form, Terra also wins compared to Kefka. However, in the battle with a lot of waves, such as Final Fantasy VI event, I prefer Kefka because the unlock magic will always reset after every wave. So the conclusion is Kefka wins versus normal Terra, but if you use unlock magic, then Terra will win versus Kefka. So in my opinion, the best mage for 3 stars base is Xdeath. The second is, I prefer Kefka because you don't need to use unlock magic. The last one is Terra. Okay, but remember, if you use unlock magic, Terra is much better than Kefka. So yep, now let's take a look on the equipment. Kefka's equipment are really straightforward because he can equip all mage equipment unlike other 3 stars mage. Xdeath is not able to equip rope and head. Terra also not able to equip rope for unknown reason. So yep, Kefka is the only mage, the only 3 stars mage who is able to equip real mage equipment. You can see the equipment on the screen, however, it is really not worth to build the hardcore Kefka, because if you're able to build the hardcore version, then it means you already have better mage, Darvina. So simply use her instead of Kefka. Okay, so my conclusion for him, Kefka is a nice budget mage because he is only 3 stars, and from my experience, you won't have any trouble obtaining him, especially on this Final Fantasy VI banner. But I don't think he has any usage outside of Final Fantasy VI event. Yeah, maybe he is useful for story mode, but for hard trial, for example Gilgamesh, I don't think he will useful. Okay, he was once powerful mage on the early stage of this game, but now with so many alternatives, he is not a mage you want to bring to the battle. However, if you get him, then it is still good because his Trustmaster reward is very good. So no reason to be salty when you see him pop out from your crystal, unless you have gotten him, yeah, maybe 10 times in a row. But that is still a good thing because this means you can get reborn quickly. Okay, so I give him 8 out of 10. Once upon a time, he was base mage. Now he has turned into a clown. But remember, I don't have a clown, so he is not a bad character. So, yep, that's all. Thank you very much for watching. Please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more Final Fantasy Brave Exvius guide. Bye guys!